All right, Nerski. Here we are jumping into game number 1 of our finals here. This a best of 5 between these two skilled players. The winners, of course, of the qualifier matches throughout the week have now met in the finals in the red playing Protoss. We do have ALBabyKnight. And in the pink on the other side, the best color to play in that Zerg is Excuse Me. And guess what? He's 6 pooling.
And he is also TSL's Revival.
Yep.
So he is from South Korea, part of team the SCII Life.
I
not
love
one of their big game players, but this is an interesting play to start the game. And
I love this play in game 1. This is so smart.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing about the way he's doing this play is, of course, for ALBabyKnight, what's going to be important is that A, he puts the forge down immediately after the pylon. And then B, as soon as he scouts the 6 pool, he's going to need to get a pylon down near his main nexus and get one cannon placed inside of his mineral line. If he does those things, he'll be in a great spot, and they'll move on into the mid-game, and it'll end up basically more or less being an even wash, because Revival will be able to build up his economy, but of course ALBabyKnight will have the initial better probe count, but then of course ALBabyKnight will take a little more economic damage because he'll lose a lot more minerals worth of buildings.
Yep. You are right there. Now, it looks like Revival almost loses a drone there. That was really close. He does do an extractor trick to get out another set of Zerglings. He will have 8 lings on the way. And I think ALBabyKnight's going to try and wall off this front, and I don't know. Good choice.
This is going to be rough for ALBabyKnight.
Yeah,
I can tell you from experience, when I have seen a Protoss player open this way, I win a game 9 times out of 10. But does ALBabyKnight have a plan? We are about to find out, because that plan could be foiled by these Zerglings now moving up to his ramp. He doesn't even have a probe down here to wall this in. And oh, he does have a pylon going down though in his main.
So I mean that is obviously going to help. He doesn't have the cannon started though. It's started right now. So he will kind of have to hold that best he can. The gateway does get canceled. Here come the Zerglings though, and you know he needs to just micro really well against these. If he doesn't, then he's going to end up losing that cannon.
Oh, a couple of probes getting picked off on the edge there by Revival. Revival doing his best to just get what harassment done he can, because that's really all he needs to do in this scenario. He'll be able to back up and get the forge later, as long as he doesn't lose all of these Zerglings to the cannon. And you see him immediately run away there as soon as that cannon finishes up, and now he'll go do the damage that he can. Luckily, the gateway canceled over here on the low ground, so just going to take the damage that he should have taken over here on the low ground. But kind of a weird choice to actually go ahead and throw that initial gateway down actually on that low ground. Maybe it was just doing that in case Revival actually faked the 6 pool.
Yeah, I mean it could have been a really tricky mind game there out of Revival, where he just like I'm 6 pulling, and then he only made 4 lings.
Yeah,
but that was not the case. It was a full 8 lings.
No.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say what's going to be interesting here is to see how this game plays out from here, and to see exactly how Revival decides to play out the matchup from here, because he is going to be a little bit behind, economically speaking, to ALBabyKnight, but of course he'll have a little bit of map control for a little while, at least until the first Zealot or 2 and/or Stalkers come out onto the map.
Yeah.
But the question is he going to follow this up with some kind of a big all-in attempt, will Revival, or will Revival just try and econ up really heavily against ALBabyKnight? And then ALBabyKnight kind of has those same decisions to be making. He could just simply go for something like a 3-gate expand and be in a good position, whereas normally a Protoss would get behind a Zerg player by 3-gate expanding in the early game. If a Zerg player goes for a 6 pull, you can quite easily 3-gate expand and actually be in a halfway decent spot.
You are right there. Now the first Zealot is out. It's going to chase those lings away that we're doing a little bit of damage on that assimilator. Assimilators, of course, would double the health of the other buildings there. So if that had been a Terran, refinery or Zerg extractor, it would have died. But because Protoss and assimilators are IMBA, it does stay alive.
Protoss do have the strong assimilators. Of course, they only get their shields back, though, whereas a Zerg structure can eventually heal to full.
Yeah, it is true.
Fun fact.
And it looks like it's actually going to be a 1-gate expand out of ALBabyKnight after that 6 pull.
Bold play, but I like it.
Yeah, this is pretty safe. I mean, there's not a lot of units out for a Zerg player right now. Warp Gate is on its way. He's getting his 2nd sentry out, and he's starting to begin that wall off. And really, if he can get that wall off, well enough completed, then force fields are going to be just fine for holding that area.
Yeah, and for anybody thinking that this expansion ends up feeling late despite the 1 gate expansion, you got to remember, of course, that Revival slowed down his economic progress as well when he did go for that 6 pull. So getting your expansion done by 7 minutes is still quite early. It's pretty equivalent to if the game had been played normal and he had gotten his expansion down more around that 5-minute mark with the 1 gate expand. So very good timing here by ALBabyKnight. I like this decision. And Revival wasn't going for some kind of an all-in, so there's no way he's going to be punished for this. That would have been really the only risk of doing that 1 gate expand, is if Revival is following it up with some really fast roach pressure or something like that.
Yeah, which, I mean, as you pointed out, and as we can definitely see, he's not. He's just running up. He has taken 4 gas, and I think we should see a layer really quickly out of him. Yep, there it is. So I think this is probably going to be some quick 2-base Muta out of Revival, which on this map is pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of space. It's not quite as good once the Protoss tries to take that 3rd, but you can still do a lot of damage with sort of that mutalist play. So
yeah, it's an interesting way that I feel like mutas work out on this map, because they're really good at trying to deny the Protoss a 3rd base, because they have to get so spread out. On the flip side, there's not a lot of airspace around the main, so you can't really harass the main and the natural all that well. 2 cannons can really hold off those early muta counts quite easily, so long as ALBabyKnight scouts this play in time by Revival. So
he's actually going for the roach attacks, so maybe we are not going to see the mutalist play. I assumed, seeing the 4 really quick gas, that would be his tech choice, but no.
That's kind of interesting that he went so heavy on gas before really getting his economy fully established.
Okay, so it's gonna be a big infestor play out of out of Revival, which is kind of cool. That's a lot of sentries though moving out for ALBabyKnight.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to do a little bit of pressure here. He does have his first couple of gateways down. He of course has warp gate finish. Has 5 gateways down total now, and about to finish +1, so he's getting ready to do a +1 timing attack off of 5 gateways and a lot of sentries. And actually, Revival could get put in a pretty bad spot here. See him immediately throwing down a ton of spine crawlers because he realizes this attack's on the way. Yeah, he's no way he could survive this. What this will do for ALBabyKnight at the bare minimum, as we see a little bit of a skirmish here in the middle of the map, is at the least case scenario here. At least Revival is forced to build a bunch of spine crawlers. He can't establish a 3rd yet, so ALBabyKnight will be in a decent position on 2 base, but he's going to need to be careful because he's really not going to want to attack into this spine crawler wall.
And this is actually 7 gate. I did go back and count, so he does have 7 gateways out on the field right now. No force fields going down yet, and a sentry getting really low there. He needs to be careful. The Sling's now pulling back, but with that many spine crawlers up, Revival should be able to hold this just fine.
Yeah, his forward pylon now taken out by Revival's Lings as well. He really needs to just back up and get this army out of here and go and establish a 3rd base. He's done enough damage economically just by forcing out this gigantic wall of spine crawlers. He really should just back up and take advantage of all that damage he did, because if he just hangs around here until these infestors come out, they're going to be able to throw fungals down on this entire army, trap it, and just kill it off, and ALBabyKnight will be totally boned.
You are 100%,
colorful
100%
language.
right there. Yep. 100% right. Those infestors now have popped. They've got the pathogen glands, of course, and immediately, this is Revival's cue to snap into action. He's going to take that 3rd base as quickly as he can. There's the drone going over immediately. We should see him move out across the map with all this, this big speedling force. Look at this, 24 more speedlings on the way. 1-1 going down for the speedlings as well, and this is going to be the push to deny the 3rd.
Yeah, and he's definitely going to need to do that. That's really the key to this type of play with these infestors. There's kind of a clock on the usefulness of this type of a play. He's going to burrow all these infestors, he's going to run forward, and he's actually going to just go straight for the natural, so he's going to go straight for the killing blow. Is there a robo anywhere on the field? No, so he'll have no detection for these burrowed infestors. So that's pretty big. Forward pylon getting taken out here, but the infestors, actually just camping out here at the Xel'Naga. Will he actually see that burrowed movement? You can see it. but it's not the easiest thing to spot. So the question is, will he see it and realize something's coming, or will he not? But at bare minimum, what those infestors are going to give you by lobbing those infested terrorists, they bypass walls and force fields, and ALBabyKnight might not be ready for this at all. Here comes the Ling run by attempt, that'll get denied. But here comes the infested Terran push. He's going to probably just immediately try and focus fire down this expansion nexus.
Yep, and looks like he is targeting it down. No, he's targeting down one of the cannons. This is a little bit disorganized out of these infested Terrans. Some Overmind needs to direct them a little bit better.
But
at the same time, the Ling's at the third Nerski. You are right. Wow, the expansion nexus go down. The third nexus looks like it's probably going to fall as well. Revival picking ALBabyKnight apart, making it look easy.
Yeah, manages to take out both of those buildings. Now, I think a big key to remember, too, is he actually has the infestor sitting inside of the base of ALBabyKnight right now. Now, ALBabyKnight could try and re-expand, but he's not really going to be able to get anything done with that. Really, all ALBabyKnight can do at this point in the game would probably be to push out and try and at least deny the third of Revival, because he could probably do that much, but actually, with how long he's been sitting around, I think it's a little bit too late to now decide to reactively go for this push out on a delay. He would have basically had to have done it immediately after cleaning up the army, and he's waited long enough now that I'm not sure that he's going to really be able to get anything done if he does push out, because those spine crawlers have been relocated over here to this third base.
And I mean, these infestors are still alive in the main. I keep coming back to them and looking at them because I want to watch those ITs get thrown down at that mineral line. And I mean, now, at this point, Revival is safe, right? He's got 4 more infestors out back home. He's got a whole bunch of Lings. They've got 1-1, 2 2s on the way. He's starting to add in roaches. But did those infestors get spotted?
It's the infested Terran. Oh, Cannon gets taken out, though, so now he's not going to be able to spot those infested Terran anymore. The infested Terran immediately doing a lot of work on the probes. Total probes killed right now. And, oh, the third's going to get denied again, but he does manage to get the cancel off on the third, but it will be denied. I mean, ALBabyKnight's trying to play strong right now, but Revival has just got him all over the map trying to deal with this.
He's tearing him apart. Look at this. We have an Ultralisk cavern going down. I don't remember the last time I saw Ultralisk in a ZVP. Baneling Nest as well. The Adrenal Glands Hive is finished, man.
I really like this play by Revival. He got to 3 base, went for that really fast 12-minute hive timing, and he's going to go Banelings with Ultras, which is actually a very tough composition for Protoss to stop, because now your force fields are absolutely 100% worthless with Ultralists on the field, of course, being a massive unit, the only ground unit for Zerg that does break force fields. So right now, as soon as he gets out those couple of Ultralists, there's not going to be anything ALBabyKnight can do to really keep staving off these forces of TSL's Revival. He's gotten his natural expansion back up. A 2-base Protoss versus 3 going to 4 and even 5-base Zerg is not a winning position.
No, it absolutely isn't. And I mean, looking just at the supplies, you can definitely just kind of see that that's the case. 157 supply to 96 of ALBabyKnight. So, I mean, while our Protoss player here does have those Blink Stalkers, he's got some Observers out, he did clean up the Infestors in his main, all those super important things to have done. Robotics Bay finishing up. He's got 2 Robos down, so I think we're going to see double Robo Colossus, but guess what? That sort of play is, I mean, it's good against the mass Ling stuff, but it's sort of dependent on your force fields being pretty good to stop the Lings from getting there. And with Ultralists on the field, as we already see some in making, that's not going to work for very long. Yeah,
it looks like Revival wants to deny the third once again. He might be able to do it because we see, of course, ALBabyKnight pulling back. And oh, he's going to need to cancel that again. ALBabyKnight made a huge mistake, I think, actually pulling back instead of fighting this army up on the ramp. And now he might just end up losing the rest of his forces before the Ultras even come into play. But here comes the first Ultra. Smashes through the initial set of force fields, although a lot of the force fields not getting smashed down. But I think with all the economic damage done to ALBabyKnight, it's not going to even matter how well Revival controls this, because he could basically just throw units at ALBabyKnight now until he buckles.
Yep, it is true. The first Colossus, though, coming in on the high ground. Where are the infested Terrans? There they are. A whole bunch getting jumped in. GG out of ALBabyKnight. Revival takes game 1.